Barcelona continues to crush opponents under Hansi Flick's management. A tragic incident took place during the Bayern versus Benfica match. Neymar got injured again, and Al-Hilal wants to terminate his contract early. The Sheikhs have lost their patience. Manchester United missed out on Gyokeres. Kylian Mbappe has organized and led a French revolt in Real Madrid, and it seems Ancelotti's time is running out. Messi's motivational speech before Inter Miami's crucial match. Salah in Barcelona. We are talking about this and much more today. This is a hot selection of the most interesting football news. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and like this video to get more news about our favorite game. Your support is very important to us. Let's get started. At this moment, Real Madrid has lost more matches than it did throughout last season. Additionally, the team suffered painful defeats in games against Barcelona and Milan. But it's not just game-related issues haunting the team this season. Questions are also arising about the team's morale. The Whites are not the same since last season. They no longer have a psychological edge over their opponents, and the root of this insecurity seems to be growing from within the locker room. After the game against Milan, Real's head coach Carlo Ancelotti said he substituted Federico Valverde due to his back issues. After this statement, rumors about the Uruguayan's injury began to spread. But in reality, there is no injury. Valverde was surprised by the Italian coach's words. He understands that he was substituted due to poor performance and doesn't know why Ancelotti chose to lie to the press. It seems a new conflict is brewing within the Madrid squad. How can Valverde trust his coach's decisions after his words at the conference? And if a player doesn't trust his coach, he won't be able to give his best on the field. Unfortunately for Real Madrid fans, the coach's issues aren't limited to the Uruguayan midfielder. A French coalition, apparently led by none other than Mbappe, is forming against Ancelotti. Though Mbappe previously claimed he would make sacrifices for the team, he becomes visibly annoyed when not placed on the left flank, where Vinicius plays. According to AS, the French star is unhappy with his role in Real Madrid. He doesn't like how Carlo Ancelotti uses him on the field. Mbappe believes he would be much more effective if moved to the flank, and has already communicated this to Ancelotti, who seemingly disregards it. Meanwhile, Mbappe was once again not called up for the French national team games in the Nations League. Various reasons have been cited. Reportedly, Mbappe told Deschamps that he needs to regain his optimal form, which is why he wasn't included in the squad, according to a Spanish outlet. In short, Mbappe's situation is complicated. He struggles in Real, while his place in the national team remains uncertain. Bringing back memories of the criticism he faced after being spotted in a bar during his team's match, supposedly to regain optimal form. The Spanish press claims that Real Madrid is planning to build the team around Mbappe, not Vinicius. Rumors suggest that the Brazilian might be sold, with Mbappe fully taking his place. This decision was not easy for the club, but the management believes it is the most reasonable one. Mbappe's dissatisfaction has been echoed by his French national teammates. Ferland Mendy feels like a scapegoat, often benched at the first opportunity. Tchouameni dislikes being placed in central defense, and Camavinga is frustrated with the decrease in his playing time compared to last season. Yet, the primary issue for Real Madrid remains Kylian Mbappe. He was a demanding presence in his Paris club, often clashing with the South American squad members. Now, he's brought these habits to Madrid, where Ancelotti also seems to have surrendered. He usually controls situations, but appears to have yielded to the new arrival. The coach even lied about Valverde's injury, angering the Uruguayan. It seems the Italian manager's time is nearing its end. Without drastic changes in the team's gameplay and overall morale, it would be a miracle if Ancelotti lasts until the end of the season. Al-Hilal is so frustrated with Neymar's injury issues that they are ready to part ways with the Brazilian as early as this winter, not waiting until the end of the season. For those unaware, Neymar barely recovered from his previous injury before picking up another one, sending him back to the medical room for several more weeks. The club intends to negotiate an early contract termination and immediately bring in another player to replace him. Neymar's statistics at Al-Hilal are staggering, though not in a good way. 7 games and 1 goal over nearly 2 years with the club. The Sheikhs clearly expected more. In fact, Neymar was the second most significant transfer of this league, right after Ronaldo. Expectations were high for this signing, with many envisioning a rivalry between him and the Portuguese star. But that clash never materialized. Ronaldo, despite his age, continues to score and showcase top-level football, while Neymar spends most of his time in the medical room. Of course, it's not his fault. He's not injuring himself intentionally, nor has he been accused of faking or prolonging his recovery to avoid the field. Still, from an outside perspective, it looks bleak, and it's understandable that Al-Hilal's management is frustrated. According to recent reports, Neymar may return to his original club, Santos, where he began his football journey. Manchester United is preparing for a squad overhaul under the guidance of Ruben Amorim. How many similar overhauls have the Red Devils undergone since Sir Alex's departure? Despite this, United's squad quality is, at best, top 5 in the Premier League. According to reputable journalist Florian Plettenberg, United plans to sign a budget-friendly striker and midfielder this winter. The Red Devils, for example, are actively monitoring the situation of Leon Goretzka, who is unhappy with his playing time. Additionally, the player's contract expires in a year and a half, making him available at a notable discount. United generally has a liking for Bayern players. Bild reports that both United and Arsenal are attempting to sign Leroy Sané, who could become a free agent next summer. Yes, contract renewal is still a ways off, and both parties have yet to discuss financial terms. Currently, Sané earns $15 million per year, and with bonuses, his salary can rise to $20 million. He also receives an additional $1 million for every 6 matches he plays. Bayern would have to at least match, if not improve, these terms. In the Premier League, of course, clubs are ready to pay Sané more, which increases the likelihood of his transfer. However, Sané's priority remains extending his contract with Bayern. United definitely needs to strengthen its attacking flanks, especially given that wingers play an almost defining role in Ruben Amorim's style. Sometimes they have demanding responsibilities, such as operating in the holding area without the ball and returning to their original position when in possession. The Brazilian isn't meeting these demands, particularly in attack. According to Ekrem Konur, Amorim does not count on him and wants to replace him with Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. Moreover, the Georgian publicly expressed his desire to leave as recently as this summer, according to his agent. Kvaratskhelia has already proven he can adapt to various environments. Firstly, the move from the Russian Premier League to Serie A didn't faze him. Secondly, in Conte's system, he had to shift from the wing closer to the center, and while it took some time, Kvaratskhelia adapted to his new role and now utilizes it effectively. He's a fantastic option for Manchester United, though the club may have to shell out around $100 million for the winger and endure tough negotiations with De Laurentiis. The Spanish media came out with a bold headline. Barcelona reportedly wants to sign Mohamed Salah once he becomes a free agent. Let's remember, this could happen as soon as next summer. The Blaugrana are looking to sign him on a 1-year contract, and then, as they say, we'll see. The club's approach seems reasonable, unlike Chelsea, which could have offered a contract straight through to, say, 2056. Of course, Salah's age is a consideration. Reports indicate that Salah wants to earn $15 million a year, which is about $250,000 a week. Imagine, there are such salaries out there. So, does he deserve that? It's a tricky question. On the one hand, why not? A 1-year contract brings minimal risk. Considering there's no transfer fee involved, $15 million a year isn't that much. Yes, there might be issues with his registration, but if Barca sells a couple of players, even that can be managed. Rumors are swirling around de Jong's potential departure, and there are ongoing speculations about Lewandowski's future, despite his impressive play. Plus, Raphinha's potential move to Saudi Arabia isn't entirely off the table. So, finding the money for Barcelona is achievable. It's just a matter of desire. As for Salah, it's hard to picture him anywhere other than Liverpool. But once, people thought the same about Maine, who has since played for Bayern and Al Nassr. Time passes and things change. Barcelona continues to dismantle one opponent after another. Yesterday, the Catalans scored 5 goals against Crvena Zvezda, though they conceded 2. Jules Koundé recorded a hat-trick of assists, Robert Lewandowski scored twice, and Raphinha logged a goal and an assist. The match could have been much tougher if Crvena Zvezda's early goal had stood, but Barca was once again saved by the offside trap. Opponents have fallen into offside 100 times over 16 matches, an incredible stat. Poor Pau Cubas almost ended up in the emergency room yesterday. The centre-back took a direct hit to the head from an opponent's boot, and blood started flowing immediately. Honestly, It was frightening to see, but he seems to be fine and may even be ready for Sunday's game. A worthy successor to Puyol. 17-year-old Crvena Zvezda midfielder Maksimovic promised to show Yamal who's better before the game. It didn't work out. He left the field in the 72nd minute with no impact. Why is everyone so keen on taking a jab at poor Lamine? Maksimovic, didn't Adrien Rabiot's example at the Euros teach you anything? As Yamal says, make your moves quietly and speak only when it's time to declare checkmate. Victor Gyokeres continues to impress. The Swede's scoring record, against both top and lesser-known teams, is truly remarkable. It's no surprise that he has caught the attention of several major clubs across various leagues, including AC Milan, Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, and even Bayern Munich. His contract includes a release clause of $100 million. However, according to the Portuguese press, Sporting is willing to let him go for less, around $80 million. The reason for this discount is unclear, possibly due to specific contract terms we're not yet aware of. Either way, for $80 or $100 million, Gyokeres remains a tempting target in the transfer market. A $100 million signing may no longer be shocking, but acquiring a player who can truly make a difference is still quite something. Among all suitors, the English Premier League seems the most intriguing. It's unlikely that Gyokeres would choose Milan, despite all due respect to the club. As for Bayern, competition with Harry Kane would certainly be interesting, but Victor probably prefers being a top choice in attack, which he could find elsewhere. In England, we would also rule out Manchester City for obvious reasons, Haaland's presence. But Chelsea and Liverpool? Why not? We'd also add Arsenal to the list. The Gunners need a solid centre-forward, and Arsenal could be an especially exciting option for the Swede. Ultimately, though, it all depends on his personal preferences. It's worth noting that Gyokeres has experience playing in England for several clubs, so adjusting would be relatively easy for him. Some of you might wonder, what about Manchester United, now managed by Amorim? Honestly, we don't see an issue there. Firstly, there's no rule stating a player must follow his coach. Secondly, Manchester United isn't the safest option for Victor right now, even with his former manager at the helm, given his current strong form. Gyokeres and his team likely understand this well and have probably drawn their own conclusions. But what do you think? If you were in his place, would you make the move to this version of United? Leave a comment with your honest thoughts. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. And be sure to watch our previous video. It just appeared before your eyes right now. See you. Good luck to everyone. Goodbye.